Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. It's my pleasure to have with us here today best-selling book author Tony Turner. And the name of the book, she's got several of them. Today's topic, of course, is A Beginner's Guide to Short-Term Trading. Tony, welcome to Traders Nation. How are you today?
Great, Kurt. Thank you.
Good. I think our timing couldn't be more impeccable. Look at the markets. Holy smokes, so how are we supposed to make money in markets like this? It's like, look out below.
Yeah, this is a tough one. We have to either know how to sell short, know how to sit on our hands, or know how to use the new inverse ETFs that'll take you higher if you if you buy them, you're short.
Sure, that's right. All right, so let's talk about this for a minute because there's a couple strategies that are going to be in play, and one of them, of course, is capital preservation. We want to make sure that we protect our bankroll because that really does what keeps us in play, doesn't it?
Oh, you betcha. Well, that's our tool, Kurt. Without our money, we don't have anything to. We're out of the game.
Yeah, we're completely out of the game at that point.
Completely out of the game.
All right, so we need to. You make more money going on the long side, but of course the markets are going down, so you can make money shorting. But we really have to be careful on the short side, don't we?
Well, you really do, especially. I mean, yesterday was actually probably a walk in the park for most people selling short.
Yeah.
It certainly was for me. But then you have to realize that, of course, nothing goes down forever. At least we hope so. And and there's going to be areas where the short sellers are going to cover and the buyers are going to come in.
Yeah.
And that's where you can give back your profits. If you get into the greed mode and think this is going to fall forever, that's where, you can get into giving back your profits because then that support can offer a short squeeze, which is always a big surprise.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing on that is you're absolutely right. In a day, you really need to be scalping your trades, whether it's long or short, in my opinion, because it can turn against you quite quickly. Shorting can be a short-term experience and should be in these volatile markets. But let's face it, volatility, that's where the money's made, and you can make it going long or going short. All right, so let's talk about sectors. What sectors are really hot right now that traders should be looking at to short?
Well, what I was just looking at this morning, Discover Card, as you may know, came out with their earnings, and although their earnings were actually pretty decent, it wasn't because of people paying their credit cards. That's actually, I was looking at at MasterCard, Visa, American Express. I hate to say it, but if delinquencies mount, they'll be in trouble. What I've noticed out here is there's a lot of head and shoulders. Of course, financials are taking a beating, whether these guys will come in and buy back their own stocks, which I kind of suspect. That could cause, any time now, everything's so oversold, any time now, we could have a very violent if there's such a thing, bounce to the upside.
Right.
And that's going to catch a lot of the shorts. And then when that all dissipates, if the market starts down again, and I hope it doesn't, for everyone's sake, then of course that starts a whole new trend. So,
right. So let me ask you something. Okay, you talk about the Visa, MasterCard, and you got the credit card companies. Let's just financial for the most part. Bankruptcies are on the rise, foreclosures are on the rise, let's just call it defaults in the end, on the rise. There's no money for these companies to be made in default, so if we're going to see a lot of that, so there's going to be some lost revenue and some downtrends as far as these financials are concerned. Would you agree?
Oh, I can't see that it could be any other way.
Right. I mean, we're just writing the playbook on that. All right.
Well, we are, and that's kind of scary too, Kurt. I'm sure everyone agrees because if one sector has a bad time, like the pharmas have had, and the drugs and the healthcare, it's not a good thing, and a lot of people's lives are affected, and it's terrible. But when our financial institutions are in trouble, I mean, that's like the backbone, that's like the heartbeat of America, to me, anyway.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. If the financials aren't in place, we got big problems. I mean, other industries and sectors can, have a bad performance, can do bad. But when the financials start breaking down, I think you're absolutely right. I think we got a problem. Let's open up the phone lines. If you got a question for Tony, get in the queue, 866-762-2777. That's the number. All right, so let's talk about this for a minute. Somebody's out there. I don't know. Is now a good time for somebody that wants to trade to get into the markets, or is the market's currently going to scare people away?
I think people learning how to trade, Kurt, just for me, if I had a room full of novice traders, I would say sit on your hands and study the markets. I think the most profits you're going to make are knowledge profits. You're going to learn.
Experience is what's going to make the dough at this point. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so maybe paper trading, right?
I think paper trading, which of course is always a great idea. You have to know, though, that when you flip into the real thing, it's a whole different world. Then as somebody said, when you're really trading, it's like trading with a gun held to your head, which isn't a nice thought, but it's true. You know?
But it is because your actual money is on the line, and it is different because then you have different emotions that come into your trading. Which, by the way, emotions should be left out of trading, okay? We should be trading purely on technical analysis, charts, if you will. And emotions really kind of gum everybody up, don't they?
They gum everybody up, and I find that if, as you said, if you have a plan, you've got to have because that gives you confidence, not the over boastful confidence, but you got to have a plan for anything you do. You got to have a plan for your day if it's going to be a good day, and you got to have a risk to reward ratio where the risk is smaller, the potential reward is greater.
Right.
And when you have that plan, then you respond to the market instead of reacting to the market, which to me are two different words that mean two different things.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So we have to have a plan. You lay out a plan, and most importantly, a set of rules that you don't break. Because the minute you break your rules, you give money back to the markets, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I truly believe you do, and maybe only a part of that is a function of the fact that you knew you broke the rules.
That's correct.
And the rest of it is, you dummy, your rules were good for a reason.
That's right. That's why you have them in place. But it never fails. The minute you break your rule, you know it because you lost money or you didn't make money.
Oh, I know it. And when I break my rules, I've been trading for years and years and years every day. I break my own rules. I'm human. You know what? It always goes against me.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we talked about charts and technical analysis here a second ago. How important it is for somebody coming into trading to have this. I mean, this really is a tool. Without it, aren't we trading blindly without charts and learning technical analysis?
I don't know how anyone could. I don't. Trading charts are of course, our account, but charts are our tool. That's our roadmap. That's how we get where we're going. I can't imagine trading without a chart.
Right. All right. Well, it's important because some people out there that they just go on market news, which is important, but it's not the entire thing. We need level 2. We need to understand candlesticks, and we need to understand where the money's going. Right. What the money's
absolutely.
Flow.
I mean, you got to have a picture. You can't just hey, back in the old days, real old days, when I started trading, I was a good investor. And I started trading, and I thought, well, this will be a walk in the park. And I did what you just said.
Right.
On news, my broker said this company had good fundamentals.
Sure.
It was ugly. Oh dear, it was ugly.
Right. I mean, one would get lucky once in a while, but chances are likely because the odds are against you, you're going to be taken out of the market. And the other thing about charts too, which I think is very important for people to understand, is the fact that charts are unbiased. It's raw, pure data put into a graphical form so people can instantly understand what's going on with a particular stock. So that reinforces the fact that to know charts is very, very important. Agreed?
Oh, absolutely. And as somebody said, charts are the market's opinion of the fundamentals.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of a cool way of putting it. Okay, we know the fundamentals. And charts are price and volume. So so this is what we think of the fundamentals right here, and it's like it or don't like it, it's the way it is.
All right, now we got about a minute left. Rubber does meet the road. Okay, money management techniques, very important. You're making money. You got to learn how to manage your dough, correct?
Or it too will go away. There's a lot to this.
Right. It's like anything on a professional, personal life. You're making some money, and you gotta manage your money, manage your bankroll. That's what keeps you in the game, and that's what keeps you trading. And if you're fortunate enough to make a lot of money, or even some money, probably paying down some debt is not a bad idea either, taking a certain percentage, right?
Always, always. You know what, Kurt, is so important? Take 10% or 5% or take something of your winnings actually and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, get it out of the way, out of sight, out of mind.
Absolutely. Pay yourself.
Yeah, well, that's the number one rule in any business. All right, now, Toni, where can we find the book at, of course?
My website, ToniTurner.com.
Yes.
ToniTurner.
That's right.
.com, and of course they're on Amazon. My books are on Amazon and the other obvious, Barnes & Noble.
Sure. All right, fantastic. Toni Turner, thanks for being on Traders Nation today. Appreciate your time, and head on over. There's the website, ToniTurner.com on the screen. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. We'll be right back. Got some stocks, more stocks, disclosures. Stay tuned.